Coming to you from the dining room table at East Barbary Lane, welcome to a special edition of Full Circle, the podcast. Today, we are interviewing the director and cast members from Ain't Misbehavin, the Fats Waller musical show, being put on at Theater Horizon in Norristown, Pennsylvania until May 17th. With us today, we have director Amina Robinson, cast members Chabrelle, Williams, and Rajeer, Alford. Welcome to the Full Circle table, y'all.
Hello. Hey. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah.
We were going to do this the day that we came to see the show, and as happens, things went haywire. But I'm so glad y'all could make time to sit down with us today. Yeah. I had so much fun.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, sidebar, who are we?
I'm your host, Martha Madrigal.
And I'm your host, Charles Tyson Jr.
Welcome to the Full Circle table.
We switch chairs and everything just goes.
I don't know how to talk anymore. Right.
Charles.
Okay.
But yeah, I
see what happens when I don't write it all down. When I just try to go off a note.
I was looking so forward to seeing the show because I realized, and I brought this up on the night, not only is Ain't Misbehavin my favorite musical, I believe it was my very first one as a kid. When the original Broadway production was on PBS, and I got to see it. And I believe that was my exposure to musical theater without even knowing that's what it was.
Wow. That's awesome.
I mean, what made you choose Ain't Misbehavin?
I mean, quite to the contrary for Charles's story. I actually was not a huge fan of Ain't Misbehavin. Not because I actually didn't have very much experience with it. And I think that that's what it was ultimately. I'd sang a couple songs in grad school for voice lessons. And so when Matt Decker called and was like, hey, you want to direct Ain't Misbehavin'? We'd love to have you back at Theater Horizon. I was excited to go back to Theater Horizon. I figured Ain't Misbehavin' would be a as good a show as any to go back to Theater Horizon with, but it wasn't my fave, and it also presented an opportunity for one of my little darlings from Temple to make her professional choreographic debut. So that's what excited me the most. It was less about the actual show and more about the people that I get to work with, because then I also got to hand select this cast. So
I loved, and of course we always watch choreography. Charles, choreographed for years.
Got my BFA in dance and choreography from Temple.
Yeah, so he always looks for the Temple grads, always. And Curtis Harris is a rubber band.
Charles?
I loved the casting so much, but he's just got the body for that part, and the choreography was wonderful. It lent... The joy of the show came through. The joy, the ennui, the fun was there in the choreography. So perfect choice. Now, did you do the casting?
I did.
Nice job.
I did.
Right.
We didn't,
good.
The fun part was that we had an audition call, but it was only for 2 roles. It was for Charlene and for Andre's part. But Curtis Harris was the only person that I called in to audition for Andre's part, because I had seen him play leading player in Pippin. And I was like, I have a feeling that he's going to come in here and be amazing. So I said, I'll just see him first and see what he does with it first. But aside from that, I handpicked everybody. Even though we had the call for Charlene, I ended up just going with my gut and asking Jessica Money to be in it, But everybody else, Tiara, Chabrelle, and Rajeer, I was like, if I'm doing this show, I need to think about the people that would really make it amazing, because
Right.
it sort of relies on the actor
Oh
personalities and the
yeah.
artist personalities, So I thought of them, and I was just like, hey, you want to do this show, please?
It's one of those shows where you don't have a lot of dialogue to hide in. I
Right.
mean, you're telling
No.
the story you're telling about who your characters are, right? Through the songs and
It's
through the
you and your
interactions.
fierceness. That's it.
And so much is unspoken. Chabrelle, I couldn't take my eyes off you. God, you were amazing. How did you get ready for this? Did you have experience with the show prior?
None at all. This is maybe my fifth or sixth musical I've done ever professionally. So, and it
What?
was,
Okay.
yeah.
Girl, why?
Because I've been stuck in opera for most of my life. That's why. But no, I've had no
Fair.
experience. I may have listened to the music, and I didn't even see the recording until I got the role. I got the call from Matthew Decker to be in it, and so I was like, okay, well, let me look at this show and see what it is, and was blown away. Was really excited to sing with people and just have our voices come together, but zero experience with this show beforehand. And so prepping for it
Okay.
was lots of warm up. And then once we started doing choreo, I was mostly worried about the choreo, and I was like, oh no,
Right.
I'm not trained in dance. I am a strong mover. I will move my body, but can I pick up
Yeah.
choreo? I don't know.
Yes, you
And
can.
Now we know you can.
I can. And now I know I
Yes.
can. And thank goodness Eliana was just absolutely fabulous and so patient and so clear. And just, yeah.
What about you, Raj? What was your experience with the show?
Yeah, so prior to getting the offer for it, I had known of it, and in college, my teacher kept trying to get me to sing "Feet's Too Big," and I never took to it. I was like, I'm kind of good on this. So my experience was similar to Amina's, where it was kind of on my radar, but it wasn't one that I was like, I must do that show. I love the music, and it was kind of like once I got the offer. I was working with Amina on another project called 1 Pound 4 Ounces, where I was not really in an actor lane. I was more in a musician and composing, producing lane. Um, but then I started listening to the music and then found the bootleg of the original Broadway cast. And, there's icons in that. Ken Page, Andre DeShields, Nell Carter, all of them.
Yep.
Like they're so incredible. And that's when I was like, oh, this material is actually really good. And there's gonna be a lot to sink our teeth into. But really, it came from trusting the people that were leading the room, Amina and Eliana. This is my third show of this year that I've done with Eliana. The first two were as actors. We were both actors in the show, and this one, obviously, she was on the creative team. And I was like, well, I trust these people, and our music director, Brigitte Rotman, who I also adore and love working with. So really, the prep was easy because I was like, I'm in good hands all across the board. Show up, do the work once we get there. And it was a lot of work to do once we
I
got
know
there.
that's
But
right.
My goodness.
that was really it. It was really like show up and get to work. And we put the show up fast, so fast.
It is, the show is based on the Harlem Renaissance, so we're talking the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that process to go back to that time? It's a different time.
In a lot of ways.
And this takes us there. So, as actors, as a director, what was that process to kind of go back into that place?
Yeah, I think that that's actually what interested me the most about the piece was the Harlem Renaissance. Like I just imagined, Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston sitting in a Harlem brownstone, reciting poetry or something, I don't know. But I imagined that the parties must have been amazing. I've heard podcasts about it. I've read books about it, what the Harlem Renaissance feel was like, that resurgence and rebirth of Black art and culture and intellectual thought, and that's what intrigued me the most about the piece is that while we were honoring the legacy of Fats Waller, we're also in this time period where Black people started being great I won't say started. Let me rewind that. You don't have to cut this, but not started being great, but they had a resurgence of the
Right.
greatness, um, which really intrigued me. So it became important to me to make sure that we were clear about the time period of this, that this piece takes place in. And I wanted it to feel like a Harlem Brownstone party, in the Harlem Renaissance. That's the vibe. So the scenic design took shape so that it looked like an apartment, but then it had potential for magic cabaret kind of stuff to happen. But yeah, that's what really juiced me up about it, was the time period.
Oh yeah. Um, so growing up in my father's household, we were a very jazz centric house. My father loved jazz, which is why I grew up with an appreciation of Fats Waller. And so that's why I was like, wait, there's a whole show with nothing but Fats Waller's music? Oh my goodness. I'm 9 years old and I know what this is. And that's why I say it was my favorite and first. And I was thinking about this, like, if I go see a production of Dreamgirls, I immediately look to see who's playing Effie. I'm like, all right, that's the powerhouse of the show. If I'm going to see a chorus line, I look and see who's playing Cassie. That's the powerhouse of the show. So it's like, in this show, y'all are all Effies. Like there's no, like, you if you ain't fierce, you can't be in this show. Like, that's just real. And that's another reason why I love the show, because I know, like, I'm going here and see some amazing performers, because that's just how that works. That's just how that works.
Yeah.
That, yeah, that's what we felt in the rehearsal room too. We were like, "Oh my God, people are going to be blown away, number after number after number." It was just like, yeah, I remember being in that room and us just all like jaws on the ground after every song.
Right. Like after our
Also,
Zitch probe.
I want to speak to. Oh, go ahead, Surreal.
No, I was just saying after our Zitch probe, it was crazy.
Yeah, I just also wanted to speak to the time, y'all,
Yes.
like, because like, I didn't do much research on that time period before getting the show, but once we got in it, I'm thinking of that time period, and I'm like, this show is so joyful, and like, and the music is incredible. Like, the fact that our people were making art like this and celebrating living their lives and touching into joy and creativity like this at that time, to me, I'm like dumbfounded by that, like, that they were able to reach this level of joy and creativity, and like, it's genius, the stuff that they made back then. And under that oppression, I'm like, what would have happened if they didn't have those things to fight through, like, but yeah. So I'm always smacked by like how joyful it is. The whole thing is just like full of it.
Well, except for Black and Blue.
Yeah, right. But that comes as the second to last number
Right.
in the show, which is like, it's just like, yeah, except for Black and Blue.
And it's funny because, like, that has always been one of my favorite songs, just because it's so poignant. And I was saying this to Chabrelle after the show, like, it really hit different for me hearing it in 2026. Like, even with it placed in my mind, like, the time that it was written, you know, we've come so far, and yet, you know, like, but the only line that I was like, oof, was the I'm white inside. Like, I get it. I get it. But it's like, yeah.
So the lore is, because I struggled with that one as well for a number of reasons. As a director, I do a lot of research into things, and the lore is that Fats Waller and I can't remember the lyricist's name right now, just because I want to, and that's how my mind works
Right.
sometimes. But the Fats Waller and the lyricist wrote that song under extreme duress for a musical. The lore is that they didn't want to write the song, but they were forced to write the song for this musical that dealt with issues surrounding colorism, but through a white lens. Yeah. And then as the musical, the writers of the musical, this is all my imagination. I do not have facts for this, but in my imagination, I think about the time period that the musical was put together in, this review for Fats Waller, and I can see how at that time, especially, that song would have been considered a poignant look into Blackness.
Right.
Whereas I don't necessarily know that it has ever been a poignant look into Blackness.
Right.
And I also imagine, again, this is just Amina and her imaginings based on research. I also imagine that had Fats Waller lived and put together a review of his own music, he probably would not have included Black and Blue with lyrics that are like, I'm white inside, and what did I do to be so black and blue?
Right.
I don't want to live. Like,
Right.
I just don't know that he would include that, especially when you look at the body of the work that he had control over and what was happening during the Harlem Renaissance.
Thank you so much for that bit of information. The fact that I know now that was written under duress makes way more sense. Because I'm like, granted, you Black in the 30s, so
yeah,
I get it. But now I get it. Okay, good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
See, for me, that one is that's a hard song. Lounging at the Waldorf speaks to...
That is my favorite.
Performing. Yeah, there's a lot in that. It's a fun song. There's a lot there.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it talks about that. The smile.
It does.
The need for the smile. The need for, what is the line about? They like jazz, but
in small doses.
In small doses.
Get the lyrics, Martha.
Come on. I guess the original code switching.
Right.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that was my favorite number and always has been. I think it was my introduction to counterpoint in music. That's probably not true because, again, jazz household, but consciously. But I realize now it kind of gives like white people are watching.
Yeah.
Which I never really...
It does. And the thing that gets you is that it's so freaking beautiful.
Right.
The song itself is gorgeous. So you're like, ah.
It's sweet. This is like this moment. This song is like Amina's genius all over it. Chabrelle, you can speak to this too. But like we had in rehearsals, leading up, we like were directed by Amina to not do it a certain way, but we were like kind of free to interpret it for ourselves. And I think for a lot of us, it was more, for me especially, it was more so thinking about our ancestors' point of view, because I too did have a tough time like saying that in today's scope with how I feel about my Blackness and how I feel in my own skin. But so it was more so like throwing it back to then. And I think it was this more broody and emotional thing. And then Amina actually stopped us and she was kind of like, y'all, she pulled it all together in a little circle. She's like, I don't know how this doesn't really like land for me, if I'm being honest. Like, she's like, it's nothing y'all are doing. I directed you a certain way, but like, she was like, what if we peeled that off and just like sang the song? And that moment for me, let it come out of this like emotional, deep place where I was trying to dig for stuff and just let it be and let the audience have the reaction, and not be, I don't know, reliving stuff that's not necessary for us to be reliving.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this was for Black and Blue. And I think
it wouldn't have.
Go ahead, Martha. No, please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we're in terms of the Waldorf. Are we back? Is that, Raj, what you were just saying, or?
No, I was saying for Black and Blue. I jumped back to Black and Blue, but Waldorf is tied into that world. I love that y'all are tying that together.
Yeah. Well, right, because performers would not have been able to be obvious, would they? I mean, it would have been under the surface. Chabrelle, God, I'm sorry.
I was just going to comment, like, what I think I talked to you both about Black and Blue afterwards, and how Amina changed that from being like a really emotional to like, no, we're gonna sing it for you. We're gonna sing it well. You're gonna sit with those feelings, not us, because we're Black enough. We have sat with these feelings.
Right.
We sit with these feelings every day.
Right.
You figure out what I'm white inside means for me.
Right.
Not me.
I think that was powerful.
Please, and we can talk about it afterwards.
Charles.
Yeah, but in like The Waldorf song, though, I also agree, like making fun of white people at that time, it had to be subtle. They couldn't just do it blatantly. Like, and I don't think we're doing it blatantly either, but I think there's strength and subtlety when talking about the underscoring of like we have to be different around a different
Right.
demographic of people. And is the Waldorf still up and running? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure.
Is it a new hotel?
I don't know about that
Are people
particular
still?
one, but
Are
probably.
people still? Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and that's the thing, because
Right.
Well,
because that song is like it's giving code switching, it's giving we're just like you, it's giving elitism, it's giving I got mine, you got to get yours. There's so many levels to that.
it is still open on Park Avenue, by the way.
That
It's
makes
a Hilton hotel. Well, I had to check.
Right.
Ah, come on, Hilton.
Still there.
That makes sense. And I'm thinking about like now I'm actually thinking about like the songs in a 2026 lens, and you know I can't help but look around at folks in the audience while I'm watching, and it's like part of me just can't help but think somebody in that room when you got to I'm White Inside was going, I knew it, you know. Did not tell you. So yeah, I feel I understand the trepidation of wanting to do that song.
Oh my god.
That's not what I expected you to say.
I knew it.
I knew it.
There was something healing to sitting in that theater in 2026, just with everything that's happening, you know, every day. I work with a lot of trans people who are terrified, you know, who just are, and we're sitting over here in New Jersey where we have a different experience than a lot of the states in the union, and different and the same. I mean,
Union.
They're everywhere. What?
That's a union.
Yeah, union. Just kind of entering a space of joy without apology, without, you know, with just friends, that it felt refreshing. It just felt like, let's go away for a minute, you know, and there was a layer of bittersweet, which comes out of that time, you know, because when you said, I thought it was the first time we could really document Black greatness, you know, and the books came out and we still have them to look at. That's the way I, you know, from this lens, view the Renaissance. Like we actually still have this. It wasn't as dangerous to produce and to stand in intellect and intellectual debate. And that's what I picture in the Brownstones is the conversations that went on. And I just, everything that's happening now, it's too eerily similar to, everything that was going on back then. So it felt, it's a wonderful escape. And yet, the more things change, the more they stay the same, or folks would like them to.
That part. Yeah, because I think when we saw the show, that was the day of the Supreme Court case on the redistricting.
I believe it was.
And which is what was in my mind when I was talking about how it hit different, Black and Blue. Child.
Well, right, and it's only been a few days, and we're seeing that they did exactly. We've got states doing exactly what we knew they would do with that verdict. So where do we go? Boy, I took this down, didn't I? Sorry about that. can we just do one thing though? If you're if you're paying attention right now, can we just, I don't know, without thinking? Because I'm thinking about everything most of the time.
I mean, everything has a context, historical context, a social context. So even the happy songs had a layer of something behind it,
Well, that was the poem, Maya's poem about the smile, or the laugh, and how not real that is, and that I kept thinking about that, and then the context of the news that
Right.
You decide what's real.
Which makes me think of like tangent. Someone was interviewing Lena Horne, and like they were talking to her about like having been blackballed and but still being this vibrant performer, and how do you get on stage night after night and see this sea of white faces and still give them so much of yourself. And she said, I go out on stage and I smile and I look at each of them, and as I'm performing I go, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you. And there's got to be an element of that in shows like, well, not necessarily shows like Misbehavin, but artists like Fats Waller who are performing for these different audiences. Like, you can't unknow what you know. You can't, like, what happened that day can't unhappen just because, it's showtime. So, I that's one of those things that I appreciate about us, our ability to be both.
But it's something I think I learned from Fats in doing my research on him is that, like, and other artists in that time, that joy is rebellion. Like, it is a rebellious act to be intentionally joyful in times of strife, in these dark times. And like, if they could do it in the 20s, we can do it today. And that's something that I feel like this show also has taught me, that like, I've had this thought as an actor on other shows, but this one especially, like, I have to like tell myself I am actively like doing an act of service for the audience right now. Because of the times, yes, but even if the times were all great, it is an act of service to give people something like this and to stand in joy. And even on the days when it's hard, when we get terrible verdicts like that, and yeah, I don't know. I feel it as an act of rebellion, and I'm looking to ride that wave after this is over as well, and like keep doing that in my own art, and like keep and share more stuff, and because I feel like we need this stuff. We need this. People left, like, we might leave after the show and we're a little drained and tired, but when I come out to the house afterwards, like, people are so filled up by this show, and yeah, I'm really grateful to be a part of it, and I think that like. Yeah, joy is rebellion. Like, we have to enjoy and live our lives in a way that doesn't get stuffed down by all of this stuff that's going on in our country, as unfortunate as it is,
Oh, absolutely. I've said 150 times a week, if you're going to fight for your life, make sure you have one.
That's worth living and fighting for. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Make sure that you make time for joy. And it is rebellion, because it's like these are a bunch of really miserable people that are making these decisions. And it's like, just when you think they can't go any lower, they dig. And it's almost this absurd comedy. Just like, how did you even conceive of that? The layers of evil, just evil. That part. I don't have a better word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I totally echo Rajeer's sentiments. Oh, sorry, Marcia.
No. Listening.
I was just saying, I also, like, as a artist, as a Black artist, I agree that joy is rebellion. It is my activism. Like, me continuing to do this work, this kind of work, is me being an activist in today's age. Like, yes, I can go out and protest. Yes, I can, but no, most people don't want me to do this. Most people that look like this don't want this for me. They don't want me to find joy in this. They don't want me to bring joy to other people. Okay, I'm going to continue doing that no matter what. And I've always had this question, like, oh, I need to do more. I need to go out and into the streets and tell everybody this. Like, no, I'm literally doing that every day that I'm on stage with people, with Rajeer, with Amina, with my castmates, to the audience. And especially with a show like this, showcasing nothing but Black joy and love
Excellence.
and laughter and excellence. We have to keep doing it. And I wish the people in the Supreme Court would come to see something like this, but people like that wouldn't. Because they are miserable. They don't want to see this kind of, they don't want to see this kind of joy, because I think it would actually make something shift within them that they don't want to. It would make them accountable to something that they have never been accountable to before.
They'll feel a human emotion and then realize how much artifice is involved in everything that they are and have dedicated themselves to. And so, introspection is like the kryptonite to these people, which is why they don't ever do any.
Crazy.
Chaw.
Raj, you reminded me, because I kept watching you, and I'm, where do I know him from? And you just again embodied a character so well, and I was having such a good time. And when you came out into the lobby, you said Rent, and I went, there we go, there it is. Because we had taken. So one of the groups that I co-facilitate and co-run, is a trans discussion / support group, and we kind of gathered everyone up, and I think we had 25 people there that night.
Y'all had a lot of people.
We did, and they put us in the sofas all around the stage, so we were kind of right there, and there was so much connection, and just watching the young people that we brought experiencing that show, and there was a young woman called Angel, and she chose that name because of that character, and they got to have a moment afterwards. And these are important shows. These are important works that I'm glad we're still doing.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's kind of the work that I think I like to seek out for myself. Like Chabrelle, I also feel like I'm an activist through my art, and like I feel hurt when my projects don't speak to and help push the needle on what's going on in our world. So yeah, Rent was another one. And we had so much fun with y'all that night. I remember. That's why I saw y'all in the audience, and I was like, oh my God. I don't remember their names, but I know their faces. I remember y'all from the Rent show, because we even talked afterwards, and y'all were just really affirming and just generous with your words after that show and your experience on that show.
Y'all were generous on stage, and you embodied Jesse Martin, and who I adore.
Wait, Amina, that's your homie, right?
Yeah.
Is he? You know him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my friends from back in the day.
You can't meet him.
Join your club, though. Join your club. He's like a heartthrob.
I really knew him from Law and Order. Like, I'm just a Law and Order junkie. It's that thing that I can put on and have in the background for hours because of the cadence. Each one is a little show all to itself. I know what's going to happen, and I loved his character then. I mean, I just and then when I saw him in Rent, that was a whole nother level of this actor, and I went, that I didn't know. See, I'm getting warm, and
yeah. see, getting hot and bothered.
Jesse, if you're listening to the show, you can't beat me, man. No.
I'm gonna send this to him.
Please do. He has a fan. But Raj, you really did. You brought your own energy, but you got a little of Jesse going on, and you really did with the character, in bringing the joy and bringing the smile.
How you gonna be flirting with two motherfuckers at the same time? One who ain't even here.
Listen, I'm just trying to get some of that. I'm trying to get some of that Jesse money too. So
I want you to have it. I want you to have it, friend. I do.
Come on.
Work.
That was one of the best productions I've seen at the Arden, and again, you were perfect for that role. So I immediately connected when you said that. I'm like, thank you. And I felt watching Curtis, I felt like I know that young man from somewhere, and I cannot figure out where. I saw that he was from New Jersey. Maybe that was it. Maybe we've just encountered one another at some point.
Curtis was also in the Curtis was a offstage cover for Rent as
Mm.
well. I don't think you saw Curtis go on, but it's possible that you could have seen Curtis go on. He went on once for
Maybe
Rent, and that's
that was
where. But yeah,
again, that was just a show that brought a lot of joy, a lot of feeling, and being able to do that with a group. We did that with when Oklahoma was touring, and that creepy version of Oklahoma. That all they did was slow it down, really, and I don't think they changed one word. And it was, I never realized. I thought that was such a fun little show. It is. Oof.
I like it
Chilling.
better this way.
Charles was like, I like this so much better. But there were two trans characters cast. One was Sis from Pose, and the other was Hennessy Winkler, I think.
Yes.
And they were just playing roles. They were not trans characters per se. They were just roles in the play. And we took about 25 to that as well, to say, look what's possible.
Exactly.
We need celebrate that.
Which is why I was so glad to see some young people in the audience for Ain't Misbehavin' for the exact same thing. See what's possible. I have a question for all of you, because the original production was very much a vehicle for the talent of those actors. And I noticed, Amina, in the program, you put like Chabrelle as Armelia, Raj as Ken. So like, but at the same time, you each are yourselves. What was that approach like, and what was it like, basically stepping into the shoes of these legendary people? We can start with Amina.
I guess I'll start. Okay, I'll start by saying that for the program, for licensing, technically since those actors originated those roles, those are now the characters that the actors on stage play. So in productions of Ain't Misbehavin', they have to be credited as those characters.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But we did have, but that question was on the table very early because it felt strange with all of the ad-libbing and things that they do. It felt strange to refer to Chabrelle as Armelia and to Rajeer as Ken.
Right.
It just felt strange. So so the decision was made that on stage they can address one another by their names, and let them become the icons and represent the icons that they are, as opposed to resurrecting Nell and Armelia and Ken and Andre and Charlene. So yeah, that's why that decision was made.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
because
that.
they're iconic.
For real though.
They're iconic. Rajeer, Chabrelle, Jessica, Curtis, Tierra, they're icons.
And I didn't feel like, while I felt like you brought some spirit, I didn't feel like you were portraying
Right.
Ken. I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel that.
no, yeah, it would be hard for me to. He's so unique and iconic in his own right that like, no, there might be like moments that I watch from their bootleg that I'm like, I pay a nod to something he did vocally or things like that. But it's only that, just a nod, and then digging deeper into living in Fat's world through how that works through me.
Exactly.
Chabrelle, what about you?
Because I think that's what they all did. Yeah, I mean, I think the original performers, that's what they all did. They channeled themselves through Fat's music and did what they did best. And I feel like if you're going to hire people to do Ain't Misbehavin', you are hiring the best of the best in their field and what they're the best at. And depending on what track they are on, that is what they do best. So like with Armelia McQueen, like she was classically trained. She did a lot of film work too. I'm classically trained. So but like I noticed in the original And I think in a lot of the original recordings, like a lot of like the higher stuff was like made as a joke,
Right.
as opposed to actually showing off what the voice could actually do.
Right.
And it's like, no, my voice can do this, and it can do
Right.
it just fine. So I'm just going to give it to you. Like as Chabrelle Williams paying homage to the grandiosity of that McQueen, that she brought to the role and to the character.
They singing.
So,
For real though.
and like they were singing in that too, but we're singing it in a different way. Like I'm Chabrelle, I'm not Armelia, and I will never
Right.
be Armelia McQueen, no matter how much I try to imitate her, because then it would just be an imitation. It wouldn't actually be me. I don't know. I feel like trying to like taking inspiration from somebody's performance and like how they performed it, what they brought to it, like character wise, trait wise, I think is a totally better way to pay homage to somebody's performance than just trying to strictly imitate it.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Tierra early on asking me with some of the Nell stuff in particular, because Nell Carter's voice is so very distinct,
Yes.
So distinct. Yeah.
And I remember Tierra saying, "Do you want me to sing this like Nell sings it?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Sing it like how Tierra Green sings it, honey." And she is singing down.
Right.
I love that.
Same
I
thing with
appreciate
Jessica Money, because Jessica Money's not she's typically not a belter. Like that's not where her confidence lies. I won't say strength, because she can totally do it,
Right.
as we see. But sometimes she feels like, I don't know about belting. But I told her, I said, I want you to sing the Charlene material in a way that is Jessica Money, in that beautiful angelic voice, So yeah, take it and make it your own.
I love that.
The icons.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. and that made it that much more authentic. It just did. It brought something that would not have been there if everyone was just trying to mimic.
Right.
So much more.
Yeah, I always wonder that when I see people stepping into roles that were like made not only famous but like iconic, like how much do you leave out of what they did and how much do you leave in, so I always find that interesting, because at the end of the day you ain't them, so and thank goodness, because we get to see you.
So there are 5 more performances this week. So we're going to get this out as quickly as we can.
Yes.
Just to make sure that folks have a little bit of time to get over there. I want to know what's next for each of you. Are you already working on something, or is there an answer to that question?
Chabrelle, go ahead, girl.
Well, I will continue on the Ain't Misbehavin' track and perform it in Arkansas. At the Arkansas Repertory Theater. Yeah, doing the co-pro with People's Light as well. So I will be Ain't Misbehavin' all summer.
Okay.
Same role?
Same role.
Okay.
Same track.
Okay, you're going to have a nice little, what I call a comfy ass groove in that part by the time you're done.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So after this, once we close, I'm taking a little break this summer, just because I've been pretty busy this year. So just going to do some music gigs, some small stuff. Like I'm doing a gig over in Delaware at a farmer's market. And then also working again on that 1 pound 4 ounces play. We're doing it at a university, I think this summer once. But other than that, I'm going to be taking care of dogs, running my dog business and chilling out.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
The puppy.
I'm in pre-production for 2 shows. I'm doing Top Dog Underdog in a co-production with People's Light and Theater Company and the Arden Theater. And I'm also in pre-production for Purpose, which is going to be at the Philadelphia Theater Company. Right. Which is going to be at the Philadelphia Theater Company in a co-production with Jiva Theater in Rochester, Syracuse, upstate New York.
Okay.
Up there, where it's cold.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So if we wanted to learn more about each of you as individuals, where would we go to follow you?
I have a website where people can communicate with me from. There's like a contact form if people want to meet me or meet up with me. I love having lunch with people. I've done that on several occasions, artists in Philadelphia. That's justmyname.com, AminaRobinson.com.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, and I have just my Instagram. It's my first and last name. I'm gonna be honest. I deleted the Instagram and Facebook over the last 2 months.
Did you?
Just re-downloaded it. So I will.
I was going to
I
say, I saw people
understand.
tagging you, so I assume that you came back, but a lot of folks did do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't blame you.
Just to get this, I just needed space. I needed space and a break from all of the scrolling and all this stuff. But yeah, I'm there. I'm there, so you can reach me through there for
Okay.
sure.
We use it as a tool because I spent a lot of time saying Facebook isn't real, Instagram isn't real, social media isn't real. So
It's not.
when it's a
Right.
tool to
It's
stay
not.
in touch,
Really not.
Right.
Right, and share, and
Right.
that's what I'm gonna work on that this summer. Is sharing more music and more of my own personal projects through that to reach people and to reach collaborators
Yeah,
too.
because
So
I'll have get myself worked out. What are you doing?
Right.
A, stay out of the comment section. B, just keep it pushing.
Right.
Chabrelle, what about you?
Yeah.
How do we find out and stay in touch and follow you?
Yeah, I do have an Instagram and a Facebook. I am rarely on either of them, but you can find me on those platforms. But I also have a website, chabrellewilliams.space. I have a contact form there as well. If people want to get in touch with me for gigs or even creative workshops. I'm a teaching artist, so I love that kind of work as well. Just getting people to express themselves creatively.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Fabulous.
So, Amina, about lunch, does Jesse ever come along?
Jesse lives in Canada
I'm
now.
gonna fight you.
Canada. Oh,
Like
it's
Yeah.
cold up
Yes,
there.
he's been in Canada for quite some time now.
Okay.
He left us.
Ciao.
All right, then. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Uh-huh. Oh, real quick, I wanted to ask, do each of you have, I'm sidestepping. So, real quick, do you, each of you have a favorite number that you can't wait to do? And what is it?
Ooh,
And,
yeah.
and Amina, that you can't wait to see them do?
I will answer this question because remember how in the beginning I said Ain't Misbehavin' was not my fave. I was like, man, I'm not really checking for this show. After this production and seeing these people, I'm all over this show. And I don't have a favorite because I literally cannot choose. I love all of the numbers so much, including Black and Blue secretly, because the music is beautiful.
It is.
I just disregard the lyrics. I try my best to disregard the lyrics. But I just love them all so much that I all of them are my favorites now.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Come on, diplomatic answer.
No,
Right.
I wish I was
I
lying.
know.
I love all my children the same.
Exactly. Even the funny looking one. No.
Chabrelle.
I feel like I have two favorites. I have
Okay.
Jitterbug Waltz
Yes.
because it's just
so
gorgeous and
So
and I feel like we sound super baller at the end in that ending harmony. The bell tones are just chef's kiss. And then Handful of Keys. Even though it's the hardest one to sing, it's so fun. I get really excited doing it. Because I just want to do the choreo and
Right.
almost fuck it up. That's even more fun. But I also don't want to fuck it up because I don't want to F up Eliana's choreo. And I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I just want to keep singing this forever and ever.
I love Jitterbug Waltz, but
It is-
that's the one song that if they're going to cut a number, that's the one that gets cut.
I was gonna cut it.
You are.
I was gonna cut it until I saw them do it, and I was like, "Oh, it's so sultry. I love it." So I kept it, but I was gonna cut it.
Charles.
How about that?
Came in the
Yeah,
door
he
about
said
to cut
that.
Charles, you got some special. You are a director or something. What do you do? What else do you do?
I have Warner director's hat from time to time, choreographer's hat.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, like
I feel.
this is the show that I have always wanted to be in, and you, sir, your role is the one that I always wanted. In fact, I do Your Feet's Too Big for karaoke every now and again.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
I would love to see your version.
Not
of
to
Feast Too
mention,
Big.
yeah, I mean, how many years you taught dance.
Yeah.
With generations of children who are no longer children who credit Charles
I
with.
know they grown with families and careers, and I hate it. Who told you to grow up?
Right. But with their love of dance, and so many of them still dancing. And,
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
but little of everything. Rajeer, favorite number?
It is really hard to choose. So many of them are so much fun. But I think mine would be probably, it's between Feet's Too Big and Honeysuckle Rose.
Yeah.
Feet's Too Big is just like, I just get to play with the audience in such a unique way. Like, I just get to mess with everyone. And I feel like it's she today during the matinee, I came out and I picked the lady that was sitting like dead center. And
nice.
I like started looking at her and she was just like a little surprised. And then as soon as I started saying the lyrics to her, she was like, oh, is she talking to me? like, so there's people like, I don't know, the way I get to mess with them. I'm so mischievous in shows anyway, so I feel like I get to just let it out in the show.
Oh my God.
Heck yeah.
But my favorite to watch is probably Viper's Drag. Curtis is like, I don't know, man.
Insane.
Curtis he's a special. Everyone in this show is a special talent, but like getting to see Curtis in his debut show be acting and singing and dancing this way. If y'all remember, you come back, I just have a dopey grin on my face during that number. I'm like not even acting. I'm just like, so like, look at this young black man, like performing his ass off and just so, yeah, it's just really special to see. I can't wait to see what else Curtis does in his career because it is like, yeah, I can't get enough of that number.
And I love that you used Martha as a focal point in Lounging at the Waldorf, and I've been calling her Mrs. Hemingway ever since.
Ooh, and Martha, if I remembered your name, you would have got a personal shout out. I would have dropped that really quick.
Work.
It worked out the way it worked out. It was fun.
And I do want to say that it's a testament to how good of a song Spreading Rhythm Around is. Like, every time I hear that song, Pig Feet, Beer and Gin almost sounds good for that period of time. Almost.
Almost.
And then I go, no, I'm good.
I don't want to hear that.
As song lyrics.
Right. Because it's got that it's got that layer of like, of the party and the celebration and the comfort and the joy of being with your people. So like that's what I tune into, and then I remember what Pig Feet tastes like, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
You're like, I'll pass.
Yeah. No, thank you. And chitlins, no.
No,
Definitely not.
absolutely not.
When I was up until I was 5.5, because that's when I realized what they were. Pig feet and potato salad was my favoriteest meal on the planet.
Wow.
Yeah, and
They set you up.
they did. Well, both my parents are from the South, so my father would be
Yes.
like, "I'll eat everything on the pig, but the oink because it's too hard to catch."
Yes. My nanny used to say, I'll eat a pig from the rooter to the tuber.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
and then I realized what chitlins are, and I'm like, "You eat that on purpose."
Yep, on purpose.
You know what I do not understand? Vegan chitlins. Why are we doing this?
What?
What are
They have
vegan
I don't
chitlins?
even know.
What are they made out of?
I'm not sure I want to know, but it is a thing. Because I saw a recipe and I'm like, I'm not going to look further because why are we doing this?
Vegan chitlins. You just blew my mind today.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, there,
crazy.
Why would a
there
vegan
is.
even want chitlins?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, there's sense memory, right? I've done a lot of plant-based cooking and a lot of research because there is something to, and this goes beyond soul food, to a lot of the food like I grew up with. My grandmother was Hungarian, and a lot of that Eastern European food, right? Trying to recreate the sense memory without all of the fat and all of the, the stuff that's. Someone said we have a repast, after a funeral, and we honor their lives by eating what killed them, and that like stuck with me. So I get the notion,
Right.
that I guess if chitlins is something you really adored, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we figured out Scrapple because I always loved Scrapple when I was little until I found out what was in that. And then, but there's a mushroom Scrapple that's incredible.
That's actually good.
It is.
Incredible.
And there's this place, Enswell, on Spruce. I think it's Spruce Street. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can.
It's a nice breakfast spot,
Yeah.
right?
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
The mushroom scrapple.
Right. So
Definitely mushroom scrapple.
I would eat mushroom scrapple.
It's good. Yeah.
Delicious.
I don't like regular Scrapple, but I can tear up some mushroom Scrapple.
I would imagine you could replicate chitlins with mushrooms. I would think maybe
That would.
maybe.
I would just call it something completely different so I could like dissociate the.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're off on a tangent, but there is that idea of like, if you can replicate
I did that.
taste,
That's
you
it.
totally did that. Taste and texture of something and make it a little healthier or keep it plant-based, to keep us a little bit, healthier.
Not
That's
eating
what's
chitlins. Yeah.
And I'm a hypocrite anyway, talking about I'm not going to eat chitlins, but I want some vegan scrapple. So
right.
Yeah.
But it was delicious. There was a sausage my grandmother made a lot, and it was called hutka, and it's rice and liver and blood. Delicious, but I found out what was inside, and I went, can't do it anymore. And I realized that's a mind thing, but it was something I thought was wonderful when I was little.
And then you stop and think about it when you realize that's like part of your family, and you're like,
Yeah.
how poor were we?
Right.
Like, my God.
Damn.
But does that have anything to do with it? Right?
I bet you.
Anyway, we have run your time. I cannot thank you all enough for joining us.
This was
for talking to us.
fun.
This was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and
Thank
you've
you.
really
you.
put together something special. The last performance is on Sunday, the 17th of May at 2:00. But there are several chances in between now and then.
Run, don't walk.
Yeah, to catch an amazing show. Amina, Chabrelle, Rajeer, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
thank you for having us.
Thanks, y'all. This was awesome.
This is really great.
Full Circle is a Never Scared Productions podcast, hosted by Charles Tyson Jr. and Martha Madrigal, produced and edited by Never Scared, executive produced by Charles Tyson Jr. and Martha Madrigal. Our theme and music is by the Jingleberries. All names, pictures, music, audio, and video clips are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective copyright holders.